So we are doing the eagle build first today. We have the amazing little eagles going. So we're going to be transferring this eagle into a full-blown, cool-ass color. Should look pretty amazing. Let's go ahead and get that started now. So we're going to change the total color of this eagle real quick. So we got a little bit of silver fuming on it from before. We're going to go ahead and apply some more silver on here and change this color completely up. Let's go ahead and get it going. And here we go. We're going to grab our silver. And then we're going to gold fume it after that. I'm debating whether we do borax. Let's go ahead and transfer the silver now. So we're going to take it from total clear and transfer it into the silver fume version, which we're getting right now. Got to squeeze a little bit of this silver out. There we go. Ooh, there we go. All right, that worked. That looks good. Let me show you the result. So we just added the silver on there, and we just changed the total color of that eagle real quick. We're going to go ahead and bake that in there. Going to use a very propane-rich flame just to kind of bake it in. Warm it up a little. There we go. A little bit more this way. Happy 4th of July to those that are celebrating. And if you're not in the U.S., welcome in. Okay, there we go. So now we got that really cool eagle color bouncing through there. It just looks amazing. All right, now the fun part, the actual gold. We're going to grab our gold and pop that in there as well. This is where the magic happens. So we're going to add our gold fuming on here. And this is going to really make it stand out. You just have to do it very slow. Don't want to overcook it. Ooh. Went a little fast there. And there we go. A little bit more. Let's get this thing all colored up. Wow. Looks good. And there we go. So now we have the eagle all colored up with the precious metals. I think it looks pretty outstanding, actually. Almost doesn't look like glass, but yeah, there it is. There's our eagle. So we have that built ahead of time. Let's go ahead and make the marble that we're going to apply it. So the marble is going to be a little different than the normal ones. We're going to do red, white, and blue on this marble with a little electrum and a little dichro. So we're going to take our dichroic sheet here, melt it in, and get it looked outstanding. Let's go ahead and get that done. So first things first, we're going to take our dichroic glass and turn it into a sparkle. Then we're going to go through and add our red, white, and blue onto it. And we're going to tear it apart here. There we go. And take our dichro and pop it right on. And this color looks very much like a firework. when we get done. So you can see that kind of shimmer reflective coating on there. All right, now comes the fun part. We actually have to turn it into full-blown style marble. We're going to need a larger flame. And here we go. Welcome in, everybody. We are making the patriotic eagle on a ball. Normally I do this out of earth tones, but we're going to do red, white, and blue with the firework effect. So we're going to make it kind of look like fireworks too. And there we go. One side is coated. I'm going to show you the stages as we go through this too, because this is pretty awesome. And here we go. Ooh, it's looking good. I love this dichro. This is my favorite dichro, probably. Probably my favorite color of all the dichroic colors. Let me get it straightened out a little bit. And there we go. So that is the dichro before we get it all twisted up. I did bring out an example of what it's going to look like when I get done, just for a second. We'll park this in the kiln for just a second, and I want to show you what we're going for. I'm hoping you can see it, but you can see that firework effect right there. That's what the dichro is going to end up looking like, that kind of sparkly looking metallic firework effect. That's what we're going for. Ooh, almost knocked that eagle off. Get back in there. There we go. All right, so before we get that effect, this is what it looks like one more time. And we're going to go ahead and transform it now. I'm super excited for this piece. I normally don't do them out of red, white, and blue, but this one we are definitely doing red, white, and blue for today. And then I have the Octopus repair. So the wine glass Octopus topper, the big one, accidentally got knocked off. And a few of the little legs broke off. So the second half of the stream is going to be doing the repair on that. It actually held up quite well for being knocked all the way off. I was pretty shocked at it. It held up really, really good. All right, let's go ahead and get this built up here. We're going to start by compressing this into a ball. And we're going to twist that flat surface up. And when that flat surface starts breaking apart, starts ripping it into tiny little needle-like confetti sparkles. And that's what we're going for right now. And here we go. We're going to break it down right now. This is going to be a cool piece too. I can't wait to get this done. It's going to look so freaking amazing. And again, I'll show you as we build it in stages here. I'll bring it over from time to time and show you where we're at. Okay, got that section somewhat done. We're going to separate it. Going to smooth it out a little and see if we can get a little bit of a visual on it. It's going to look very bright at first, but once it cools off, you should start to see a sparkle here in a minute. You can see all those little particles in there. Camera's having a hell of a time focusing. There we go. Now you can see it's all shiny and beautiful like that. Okay, next step. We're We're going to pull this off. And we're going to back it with blue, which is going to make it stand out even more. All right, there we go. Wow, did you just shatter? You did. Wow. There we go. All right, we got to separate this back half, and then we're going to start adding the blue in here. And that's going to make it stand out even more. You know what? I like this half even better. Hold on. I may have to switch sides here. That actually looks better over there. I think we're going to go the other side. Quick audible call on that. All right, we're going to put the blue on this side. I changed my mind. Let's go ahead and grab our blue and start that process now. We're going to sandwich that in there. And we should be good right about there. And there we go. So now I just have to put a little bit of a clear coat on this end, and then we'll start really building this guy up. And then this will get mounted onto a base where the eagle will be mounted onto it as well. We're going to do an acrylic base on this today because I always like that look a little better. All right, let's build up the little clear section here. Okay, a little bit more. We're going to go ahead and separate it. It's already hot. We're going to use our little marble mold here. Get it started. Smooth it out, and then I'll show you where we're at. Should look pretty amazing. All right, we're going to let it cool off as it starts coming out here. Give it a second. And you'll start to see that reflective coating building up in there as it cools off. I'll move it around a little. There we go. So now we have this beautiful firework effect. We're going to punty that up. All right, so my theory on this is we're going to build a blue, then some clear, then we're going to do red and white on here. And we should have a pretty cool effect on it. There's our blue completed. We may come back and add more blue afterwards, but for right now, it's good. How's everybody doing? What's happening, everyone? Happy 4th of July to everyone. Don't worry about it, Dragonfly. It's all good. All right, so this is going to be built in stages. So we got the dichro on one side, we got the blue centered right there. That really hot spot is the blue. We're going to go ahead and add clear on top of that. And from there, we'll stack into the red and white. So let's go ahead and add the clear on here real quick. And here we go. So I'm hoping that this marble has a little bit of a firework effect. So it kind of looks like fireworks. I'm hoping for it. Sometimes the dichro doesn't cooperate as much as I would like, but that's okay. Dichroic glass is the really sparkly stuff. And sometimes it can be a little bit of have a temperament of its own personality. And it's strange because that glass is made in a factory, and every one of them is always a little different. They are handmade, the raw glass itself. Some batches are better than others. All right, so we got our blue stacked on here. With the clear now. And go ahead and separate that down. Ooh, it's warm. We're going to fuse that in, nice and smooth. And we just have to blend it in. You can kind of see that starting to happen right there. And there we are. Let me go ahead and round it out a little bit. Then I'll bring it over. Okay, so right there, right in the middle is the cobalt blue. The other end is super hot right now, the clear, so it's showing a little hotter than it needs to be. But that little streak in the middle is the blue, that thin little line. I'm gonna go ahead and grab white and put white right in the middle here. Then we're gonna stack red on top of that. So we're gonna go white right in the middle. Then after we put the white on, we'll stack the clear, separating white and red. Then we'll put the red on, and from there, we're gonna make it into its full-blown marble. And then we'll pop the eagle that I did just a few minutes ago on there. Ooh, she's getting hot. I'm gonna have to add an extension on here. There we go. All right, let's stack this white on a little bit better. And here we go. But I'm trying to give it a firework effect. That's the end goal. Have a red, white, and blue, and then have some fireworks on top of it. And I think that's going to be the key right there. Definitely have to move it into a firework effect for today. And then after this piece is done, we got to do the octopus repair. That one's going to be a little hard. Okay, that one's going to be a little difficult. If you stick around for that, you may actually see me fail. There's a 50-50 chance it will blow up and die. So we'll see how it works out. All right, a little bit more white here. We're going to use the whole thing up, actually. We're just going to use the whole thing. Going to stack it all the way in. All the way up to that point. This last little bit is, I never use those little bits. They end up getting to be pretty bad. Oh my God, it's hot. Oh, I didn't set my studio up for a fan. I'm going to be roasting. All right, so now we got the blue, which is that little streak right in the middle. That really bright one is the cobalt blue. The white is at the very end. We got our dichro at the other end. We're going to stack clear on top of that, and then we'll do the red. And that'll be the last of it. We're going to sandwich this together and then give it a spiral. Before I do that, let me show you what the effect I'm going for one more time. So you can see that kind of really sparkly looking effect right there, that kind of reddish golden color. That's what I'm shooting for right there. But we're going to twist it up this time. And here we go. Stack this on. And there we go. How's everybody doing? Do I have a store? I have a website, thefieryguy.com. That is the website. I don't have a physical brick and mortar store. No more. I don't ever want to do that again. I think having a website's way better. I think it works out much better for me. Okay, so we're stacking the clear on here. Think of like an Oreo cookie, how you stack the little cream filling in between the two cookie parts. Same thing, just multiple stacks of that. So like 2 or 3 Oreo cookies stacked on top of each other. That's what I'm doing right now. And just a little bit more. All right, separating. There we go. So the last stage will be adding the red. Now, the red is a tricky color. It completely disappears as I start using it and making it. It'll come back to red in a little bit, but for right now, it will disappear. This is the color before we begin, right there. It's called pomegranate. It's one of my favorite reds. We're going to go ahead and stack that on right now. And it's going to go pretty transparent. Will not be visible right off the bat. So we're going to stack it in there. Now this is the hard part. As I'm building this color on here, the red is disappearing. It like literally disappears. So I cannot tell where the red stops and the clear starts. I can't see that right now. It's completely invisible to me. And that is the only drawback to this color. It completely disappears. And once I get this built on here, I'll show you exactly what I mean. A little bit more on here. I'm going to use about 3/4 of this rod that I started with. We're just going to stack it all the way up. And here we go. Getting a little squirrely. Tiny bit more, about another 2 inches on this. And in 3, 2, 1, we're going to go ahead and separate. There we go. All right, so I'm going to bring this over. On this side, we got cobalt, then we got white, then clear, and then red. In between all the colors is a little layer of clear to separate each one so they're distinctively different. But you can tell on the front here, it's like there's no red. It completely went transparent on me. But you can see the white and the blue very definitive right there. All right, we're going to pop this up. I probably need this mold to start with. Going to stack this out of the way. There we go. I need a little bigger version. So in order to get this right, we're going to flatten it, and then we're going to twist it up. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to bring the eagle that I did out. We're going to let it cool off so I can handle it. So there's the eagle we're going to be popping onto the marble. There's our eagle right there. I'm going to leave it sit out. Let it cool off so I can handle it by hand. And we'll fuse it on. Let's go ahead and get this built down. In between that, while I'm melting this, I'll go ahead and do the Borovision. So this is how I see everything. You can see right there. That flame is literally disappearing almost versus that. So this is what my glasses are made of. This dichroic material right here. Look at that. Isn't that freaking cool? Tell me that is not cool as hell. That's how I see the world. All right, we're going to go ahead and start flattening this out. We're going to squish it down. I'm going to bring it right here, gently push. Gentle, gentle, gentle. Try and keep it as centered as possible. Ugh, don't do that. All right, there we are. Now smooth this side out. We're going to attach a rod to the other side and do the same thing. So now you can see how much we squished it down. And there's the side with the red and the white. The red's not visible. I grab my punty rod, break this off. There we go. We got to do the other side here. Little itty bitty holding rod right there. Now this side, I can't wait to show you. It looks freaking amazing. It already looks good. All right, before we go too far, once this gets hot, the color kind of disappears a little. But can you see that red sparkle in there? Kind of like that little shimmer. There you go. That's the firework version. And that's going to be one of the focuses on this. I got to center it back up. All right, and while I'm doing that, I do have a minute to go ahead and bring this back in. So this is how I see the glass. This is how I see everything. This glass is called dididium. It's also under another brand called Ace 202 by Philips Glass Lenses. And it filters out all that bright sodium flare. So that is how I see everything. It just makes it look really good. It's really, really cool when that happens. And I get to show you guys. All right, a little bit more. Then we'll bring it back to the mold, squish it down. We're going to transfer the holding rods and give this a nice spiral. So a tiny bit more. And in 3, 2, 1, we're going to go ahead and squish it down a little. So we are starting Alien Week tomorrow. We're going to start the Alien Week. I'm going to do an entire week of alien-themed glass. So we're going to be building aliens, UFOs, paranormal stuff. We're going to do an entire week of building aliens and paranormal stuff. And I can't wait to do that. I'm like obsessed with it. All right, so now we flattened it out. All those colors have condensed down. There's our sparkle side. Remember I was saying it won't show when it's hot? There it is. All right, here we go. We're going to transfer it and give it a spiral now. So you put a 90-degree angle. Like that. It's going to create what looks like a lollipop. Oh, you can see a little of the red coming in. Look at the red. The red's starting to come in right there. And then there's our sparkle side. And if we have time, after I get the octopus done today, we may try something really rare that I don't normally do. I may actually try writing a name in glass. I may build a 3D name out of glass, like full letters. So stick around for that. If you're lucky enough, I may choose your name to write in glass. All right, so there's our UFO shape right there. We're going to go ahead and start heating it up. I'm going to focus all the heat directly in the middle. In order to get this to do what I want it to do, we got to stretch it out a tiny bit. Get it more oblong rather than a circle. Just got to really focus it right in here. You can kind of see where I'm heating just in that middle section. I'll try and highlight it a little. So get it really, really super hot in the middle. Then I'll bring it down. You can see that middle section is more heat than the ends. All right, so from here, we're going to try and stretch it out just a tiny bit. Just a wee bit. And then when I compress it back together, we're going to get a beautiful organic spiral. And here we go. In about 3 seconds, I'm going to try pulling it. I don't know if I have enough heat in here, but we're going to give it a shot. All right, so from here, just kind of pull, pull, pull. A little bit more. Got a little bit of it. I got to get this side where I'm tapping to pull a little bit thinner. There we go. Just a wee bit. There we go. Okay, I'm going to let it cool off a tiny bit. I'll try and bring it over so you guys can see that. So there's our white with the blue right there. The red will be on top of that. And there's our sparkle. It's definitely shimmery. All right, here we go. I'm going to heat it back up. We're going to compress it back together, and we're going to get a spiral. Going to look very much like a traditional marble. And here we go. Ooh, it's hot. I did not put my sunblock on today. So if you are wondering about glass blowing, the heat itself isn't bad, okay? The heat isn't too terrible. It's the radiating UV that hurts. So it's like, imagine being in the sun without sunblock. Same thing. All right, here we go. You can see the spiral starting to happen in here. Compressing it back down. And then we're going to stack an eagle on top of this. We're going to actually stack a blown glass eagle on top. And I think that's good to go. All right, going to separate one of these rods. Okay, before we go any further, I'm going to bring it out. Now you can see how I spiraled everything around. And there's the end. Now we're going to clean that up a little. We want a nice tight spiral in there. It's not so good right now. But you can see we got the colors bouncing through. And there's our little spiral right there. We're going to clean that up. Yeah, this is actually very beautiful right now. It's turning out a lot better than I thought. We're going to be implementing this eagle on top of it. So we're going to park that eagle on top when I get done. It's going to be a full-blown sculpture. All right, we're going to clean that up right now. So the focus will be right on this top part of the flame. I'm going to bring it in tighter. We're going to swirl it up a little bit. So all the focus is going to be right here. Bring the flame down. We're going to tighten all this up. In order to get that effect, I need to pull some of this off. So basically, I'm removing the very, very top layer. And as I'm pulling it out, I'm removing it. It's pulling that spiral a little tighter each time. A little bit more. It's called a termination point. And there we go. And doesn't get any better than that. It does not get better than that. Let me heat it up and bring it over for you. And here we go. Keep your eye on it. It's going to be very bright. As it cools down, you're going to see that spiral start to evolve. Give it a second. 3, 2, 1, and the spiral will start showing up. And there we go. Look how tight. See how much cleaner that is? It's a lot cleaner up there. Everything comes to a little tiny point. And we're going to go ahead and start using the marble mold and get this guy round. I can't wait to see this done. Used to enamel on glass? Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, glass enamels are kind of fun. I like glass enamel. I think it's kind of cool. Yeah, glass enamel kicks butt. So I've been doing this 32 years. January, it'll be 33 years. God, that's a good number, 33 years. I like that. How much propane and natural gas do you use per day? I'll let you guess. Go ahead and guess how many gallons of propane I go through a day. I use propane. And then I'll give you an answer in just a minute. If you guys want to play a game, take a guess as to how many gallons of propane I go through per day, on average. It really depends on the flame most of the time. I'm going to squish this down a little bit more. So go ahead and take a guess. And then I'll give you the answer here in just a minute. 14, 15 gallons, 1, 84. No, not 84, I can tell you that. Can I put a galaxy in? Yeah, I have a galaxy right here. I'll switch hands. I'll multitask. There's your galaxy. We got a little galaxy ball right there. I'm trying to get as close as I can. Yeah, galaxies is one of my favorite. We'll be doing that during Alien Week. So after today, starting tomorrow, we're going to start Alien Week. We're going to go a full week doing alien builds. Alien, UFO, paranormal, funky, cool stuff. We're going to do a full week of alien and UFO builds. I can't wait for that. I'm super obsessed with that stuff. I love the alien and UFO theories. So, yeah, we'll definitely be doing that. I love the UFO stuff. I nerd out on it. I'm not embarrassed to say it either. I definitely nerd out on it. Okay, so I'm going to bring it back over. We're going to watch that spiral start to evolve. I think I have it down exactly where I want it. Just going to bring it over. In a few seconds, you're going to see it start forming. We got that beautiful little spiral going right there. Super organic. And then we got the colors bouncing through. All right, now I got to do the other side, so we're going to put a rod right onto the end here. So now my job is just to get it rounded out. And today is a double feature, meaning I'm going to be doing two separate projects. The next project is I have to put together a giant octopus that broke. So we're going to be fixing up the octopus. Okay, I just got to keep that really centered. We got to fix this entire end up. Now, before I do that, I will bring it over and show you the discombobulated front and the color. The color's looking really good. I'm super impressed with the color right now. So you're not seeing as much of the red, but you can see that sparkle running through there. Right there, especially. Now the front, very discombobulated, not organized at all. Come on, focus. There we go. There we go. So it's not organized right now. So we got to fix that up. And then I'll round it out. And then we'll take that eagle, we'll mount a rod to one of these sides, and then we'll mount the eagle on it. And then we got to do the octopus. I'm not looking forward to the octopus. All right, let's get this tightened up. And here we go. So we're just pulling this color off a little bit in the beginning. That water's flung right back at me. Went right in my mouth. There. All right, let's get this twisted up. Okay, we're going to take the flame down, get a pinpoint going. And there we go. Ooh. I don't know which side looks better. Wow. I'm going to have a hard time deciding here. Let me heat it up and I'll bring it over and show you guys before we round it out. So now watch the color evolve, and everything's now organized, pinpointed right to the top up there. And here we go. And we're just going to melt it down. Man, this is looking really good. This might be one of the best ones I've done yet. I really like it. So the mold I'm using here, it's called a graphite mold. It's basically made of graphite, high density pencil lead. It's one of the few materials that doesn't stick to the flame. Oh, to answer the question on the propane, by the way, propane is 1.5 gallons a day on average. So I go through 1.5 gallons of propane a day on average. Propane's not the biggest consumption. It's oxygen that I go through a ton of. So if you take your standard welding tank, like the normal welding tanks, like a 282 cubic foot or a 330, I'll blow through that in 3 to 4 hours. I'll deplete an entire tank in 3 to 4 hours. So oxygen is your big consumption. Propane, not so much. I kind of wish it was the other way around, because oxygen's more of a pain in the butt to get done. Oxygen's definitely the nemesis. Okay, I'm going to round this out just a little more. I'll show you where we're at. I think I'm going to make this the top. It looks really good. So this will be the part that gets attached to the eagle. And we're almost there. We're almost ready to attach the eagle here. And that is perfectly smooth. I'm going to show it to you before we go any further. I'm going to bring it out, show you just how much we tightened that spiral up. And there we go. Give it a second. 3, 2, 1, and it starts showing up. And there we go. And then there's our side view. You can see all those little sparkles running through it. Okay. So we're gonna mount this into an acrylic base. I think it looks cleaner. So in order to do that, I got to put a little attachment right here. And that'll work. McKenna. Yep, you are able to call dibs. Absolutely. If you want to call dibs, go for it. Simon, thank you. Simon Viking, thank you very much. I appreciate that cool comment. And thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the Eagle Jewels too. All right, so let's go ahead and pull this down. We got this looking super fantastic. Okay, we're good. Let me get it rounded out, and then we're gonna mount the part that goes into the acrylic base first. Give it a second here. Let me smooth it out just a tiny little bit. So a lot of people ask me, how do you know it's round? And I'm going to show you, hopefully it shows up at this camera view. What I'm looking for are the lights reflecting off the ceiling or the side lights. As I'm spinning it around, you can see them reflecting off. If you see those lights jumping up and down, it's uneven. The surface isn't flat. So what I'm looking for are those lights to kind of stay fairly smooth as I'm rotating it around. There'll be a slight bobble, but not much. Okay, next step. We're going to attach the holding rod to it that will go into the mount for the acrylic base. I'm going to park this in the kiln just 1 second. I got to cut this off. This is kind of cool. So this little tool right here, this is like a jaws, and it cuts the glass perfect. Actually, I'm going to cut it pretty short. So we take it like this and watch. Just like that. Cuts it off super clean. Nice flat edge to it. Now, I use tubing for this process because I think the tubing is stronger than a solid rod. I find it to be much more effective. And here we go. Yeah, just have to keep it straight. So I'll cut this off later, and that part will go into the base, and then that's all it requires. I'll go ahead and get it all warmed up real quick, and then we're going to attach the eagle here in just a minute. I just got to make sure it's super straight. I don't want any bobbles to it whatsoever. It's a tiny bit off. It's like 1 millimeter off. And there we go. All right, so there's our marble that we're going to attach the eagle on. You can see it's really pretty. Here we go. Check it out. Look at that red, white, and blue showing in there. We got the sparkles with the firework look. Just looks freaking awesome. Red, white, and blue. I'm going to garage this in the kiln. Let's grab an eagle and park it on there. So we're going to attach this eagle onto it right now. We're going to grab this guy. We're going to burn off a little section down there, and we're going to attach it right on. And here we go. Remove my holding rod. This eagle was originally designed with a little fish in it. I don't know if you can see the little fish tail down by the claws. So it was designed to have what simulated little fish down there. I'm going to leave that on there. So I wanted the eagles to always have a little fish in them. And before anybody asks, I have no idea what kind of fish. The swimming kind. And here we go. Ooh, it's hot. I just have to take a little bit more off here. I'm not worried about the heat. What I worry about is the flame coming back and using like shooting across when it hits the glass. All right, we're good. So here's our eagle that we're going to pop onto the marble right now. You can see that I left a little fish on there, little fish tail, and we're going to pop it on there. We're going to go ahead and do the assembly. That looks really good. So now we got the eagle sitting on the red, white, and blue globe. That looks really fantastic. I'm super happy with this guy. It looks really good. And then we'll mount it into a cool ass base. So that one's completed. Okay, that one looks good. I do have one eagle that I'm going to turn into an actual wine topper by itself too. We're going to grab that real quick. And I got to change the bottom out. So this one's already pre-done with the color, but I want to add a bottom to it, and we're going to make it into a wine topper. So not quite a sculpture. Let's go ahead and build a little tiny marble for it real quick and go from there. So this will be a fast marble. I promise this one will be fast. Let's go ahead and do that real quick, and then we'll assemble the octopus. Octopus is going to look amazing. This will be down and dirty quick. All right, we're going to grab some of that electrum color, the really sparkly stuff. Pop it on there. This is like a real shimmer glass. And there we go. Got that on. Let's grab some cobalt blue and some red. So there's our red. Let's grab our cobalt blue. There we go. Gonna add that on. Trap it. Gonna stack it on just a little bit. And a little bit more. Gonna bring it out. There we go. Kick it down a notch. All right, so nothing really special right there. We're going to get there very quick, though. This is going to be fast. This is a fast generated marble. I don't want it too big. I don't want it overpowering the eagle itself. We're going to go ahead and attach. Like that. Separate this end. Clean it up just a tiny bit. Remove that excess. Add a little bit of white, then red. Okay, there's a white underlay. Like underneath is white, we're going to add some white dots to the outside where that liquid metal is. A little bit more. These need to be a little bigger. Okay, we got the white dots on. Let's put the red on. Then we'll stack this into a little bit of a spiral and put the eagle on it for an actual wine topper. We're going to add the red right now. This is a little darker red that I'm using. And it'll also go transparent, but this one will show up really fast. It'll come back to life really quick. Okay, there we go. We're separated. We're going to stack it down. Little squishy, squishy. So now you can see we got these little dots running all over. We're going to spiral them up just a little, but you can see those dots in there. We got the red, the electrum. Separate this end. So yeah, if you missed the question, someone asked how much propane I go through per day. Average consumption of propane is about 1.5 gallons a day, on average. It's not as bad as you would think. All right, we got that. Let's separate that, pop it off. There, oop, did you stick? Off. So about 1.5 gallons a day of propane, 10-to-1 ratio propane to oxygen, roughly. All right, there we are. So now we got this just ugly looking section here. We're going to turn it beautiful. I got to do my TikTok caption. 1 second, guys. Sorry. No. Okay, captcha. Come on. There we go. All right, let's twist this up. Give it a little spiral. So this is going to be a very loose red, white, and blue section here. And once I get it done, it's going to look cool as hell. It's going to look really good. All right, we got 1/2 done. So there we are so far. You can see I spiraled a lot of those colors around. Those dots get elongated like that. They start stretching out. That's a cool effect right there. Love it. Now I just have to get this round. We'll pop the second eagle on there, and this one will be done, and we got to fix this octopus. I'm not looking forward to the octopus at all. Not at all. And the reason I'm not looking forward to it is I have to build it by hand. I have to put the repairs on by hand. I can't preheat it, put it in the kiln, and bring it back out and have a stable connection. And that part worries me. All right, so we're going to take this. We got to add it on. This is the part that also goes into the wine topper. Fits on perfect. So this will fit into a wine bottle, and it'll make a nice little eagle wine topper. Very patriotic. And even if you're not patriotic on that, you're from a different country and you don't care about the American flag, it still looks cool as hell. Personally, I like it. All right, let's go ahead and spin this up. Just got to clean this a little. And there we go. Like I said, this wasn't going to take long. Let me smooth it out and I'll show you where we're at. Since I'm back at this is probably the best view, the small flame. So my glasses are made of this material. You can see right there, we're completely drowning out the flame just about versus that. And that just kind of eliminates all that filtering of the sodium flare like that. Okay, here we go. So now we got the round marble all set. We're going to grab our eagle, pop it on there. We got the red, white, and blue built into it with a little liquid metal look. I got to let it cool. We're going to park it in the kiln, grab the eagle, trim off the bottom, and attach the two. All right, let's grab our eagle. There we go. And there's our eagle we're going to use. I'm going to grab it a little different than normal. Okay. Move this little section. Now this one doesn't have the fish on it. No fishy on this. No fish. I did not make this one with the fish. Here we go. Grab my marble. Ooh, this looks cool. Oh, I definitely like that. So I'll cut the bottom off down there. I got a little silicone grommet that fits on there, but that'll be a wine topper that you can put into a bottle. Any type of bottle, it'll fit and adjust just about anything, but there you go. We'll shine a little light on it so you guys can see how the effects of the silver fuming and gold fuming are on there. And there's our eagle. And there's our color down there. I love that effect. Doesn't that just look cool? I love fuming. I think it looks amazing. Okay. Got that guy done. Now comes the hard part. So this is the octopus. A couple of the legs got broken off. Now, I'm pretty happy that only a few legs broke off given the drop that happened with it. But there's our octopus, and we're missing 3 legs on it. I got to fix it up. Before I do that, I am popping gloves on. Normally I don't use gloves, but in this case I will be. Nope. We're definitely going to use gloves, because the flame can actually travel part of that glass. It can kind of use the glass as a guideline, and it'll bounce back up into your hand. And I don't want that right now. That would be the scariest part. I use golfing gloves. They have the most tactile feel to them. We're going to take a little Mountain Dew. A little Mountain Dew. And let's go ahead and build this guy up. Here's our broken legs that were popped off of it. And as I said, for having taken such a big spill, it didn't get broken at all. That bad. And there's our little grommet for the wine toppers. Yeah, for as bad a fall as it took, it lived pretty good. I'm pretty impressed with the build itself. Let me clear out a space here, because we're going to have to balance it. Going to move the marble out of the way. By the way, there's our skull marble. This guy is available. That's a sparkle skull. It is available. All right. Move this out of the way. Bring these guys down. Make sure I have space. There we go. Let's go ahead and reassemble. Not looking forward to this. Okay, that's first one. So we're going to do the first one. Let's go ahead and reassemble this guy. Oh man, this is going to be freaking hard. It could blow up. I want to shoot it this way. I got to bring it down. There we go. Okay, that one's on. So far, so good. Oh, this part's gonna suck. Think of like a jigsaw puzzle, but at 4,000 degrees. Okay, that one's done. All right, one more leg to go. Just got to smooth out this one section. All right, last calamari leg. I got to figure out how to hold this guy. It's getting hot. Oh, shit, that is hot. Sorry. Ooh, that's hot. Ooh, that's hot. It's getting too hot to handle almost. But that did it. So there is the octopus all completed like that. I can't hold it up too much because it is roasting right now, but I don't even know if I can hold this thing too long. There it is. So that guy is all fixed up now. That will fit into a big ass bottle. Let me go ahead and make room in the kiln. I'm going to put on a side glove, park it in there. Going to double glove it. Use a little Kevlar. And now that goes through a tempering process. Going to park the eagle back in. Might as well show it back off. There's our eagle we did a little while ago. It looks freaking cool. And one last little repair. I got to fix a hummingbird, and then I'm going to try a name. We're going to try making a name out of glass. I'm going to actually physically make the name. Have I ever burnt my arm? My arm? No, I've not burnt my arm. I burnt my fingers, but not my arm. Yeah, let me repair this hummingbird real quick, and then we're going to try a name. I'm going to physically try and write a name. So this hummingbird has a little broken wing. A customer brought it by that lives local, so I was able to get it pretty local and fix it. And just like that, completely repaired now. So the hummingbird's back to normal. That's the beauty of this type of glass, is we're able to repair it quite often. Don't have to worry about it. Okay. That worked out quite well. We will be doing a dragon. I actually have a cool dragon idea coming. We have a wine bottle here that someone brought by, and the wine bottle has a dragon on the label. So I'm going to try and replicate a dragon like it and match the dragon to the actual wine bottle itself, which will be fun. Okay, so let me just attach this, and we're going to start with a name. I don't know how big I'm going to be able to make these letters, but we're sure as hell going to try. I have not done names in a very long time, so it could be a really bad fail too. All right, let me cut some of this up. All right, so we're going to try the first letter. And see what happens with it. So we're going to round it up here. So we're going to start with the first letter, which is going to be the letter S. So we're going to start with the letter S. Smooth that out. All right, so we got the first one done, the S here. So we got a nice little S going. I'm gonna have to build these in separate sections here. Then we're gonna go for the T. We're building Stephanie. Of course, I pick a big ass name to go with, but might as well go for it, right? We're gonna go for a T right now. Okay, got that down. I'm gonna bring it back down so I can add the T on there. Clean this up. Okay, just have to clean that up now. We'll bring it back up. All right, we got the S and the T done. Now I got to do the E. We're going to branch this off a little. I don't like that E. We're going to change it a little. Wiggle, wiggle off. There you go. Now I got to bring it back up. It's getting a little short here. So there we are so far. I gotta change that P a little bit, bring it over a tiny bit, but we're getting the letters down. Yeah, that's a little better. We're looking a little better right that way. Okay, let's go. And so far, we're looking good. Not too disappointed in it. Of course, I chose a big-ass name. I may change this A over, though. We'll have to see how it looks. No, I don't like that A at all. I'm going to have to figure that one out later. We're going to do a capital version of the A. I'm going to have to figure out that cursive version because I didn't like the way that was going out, but so far we're getting there. I got some refinement to do, but this is a good first run. I'm going to have to figure out the lowercase and how to get it a little cleaner. But for right now, we'll just do a capital version. At least it'll be recognizable. Let me get it cleaned up here. All right, got to tighten it up a little bit. All right, a little bit more. Should look pretty awesome when I get done. For a first try in like many, many moons, I'm not too disappointed. Now the eye is going to be a little bit of a tricky part. Oh, way too big. There we go. We got to put a little extension on here and then make a ball at the end. I definitely have to work on my framing here. So we got a little bit to go. We got to add the E on there, but the N and stuff, I got to fix this up, I think, down the road, but I think for a first shot in a while, it's not terrible. I'm not so happy with the N. I may change it here in a minute. I don't know. I'm not super happy with that, the N. I'll give a rough idea. I definitely have to work on my lettering, but I think the concept is there. I was pretty good up to this part. Then it went south right there. But we're getting there. We can kind of make it out. But I was pretty happy up to about here, and then this just went really bad. That N has to, I think, just be a loop. And then I can change the I. In fact, I'm going to do that. I don't know if I have enough glass here. I'm going to change it now. I just can't live with that. I can change the N out, I think, separately. I hope I have a little bit of that glass left. Oh, I do. Okay, we're good. Nope, not that one either. One more try. Let me try it one more time here. Okay, we're going to keep it the same height as the A. Now it's a personal challenge. Okay, just have to take a little bit off this end right here. Trim it down a little closer. There we go. That's better. Okay, better version of that. I think we got it down a little. It's a little crooked and goofy, but I think you guys can make it out. I think you can see that, yeah? Yeah, it is the name Stephanie, my wife. So what do y'all think? Not bad for a first shot? I don't think it's too bad. I got to work on that eye. The E's a little crooked there, but I think I can get it down. Christy! Thank you very much. But yeah, I think that worked out okay. What do y'all think? Yay or nay? I mean, I can refine it. It definitely needs practice. It's definitely not perfect right now, and I know that, but it's been a long time since I've done that. Could definitely do initials. Initials would be definitely a lot better. Doing 3 initials would definitely be a hell of a lot easier. Like a monogram. But I haven't done a name in like a long time. So. All right. That has been 2 freaking hours of awesomeness. I'm glad you guys hung out with me for a little while. I don't know if I'll be back in a little while, but if I can, I might stream for a little bit longer. But I definitely need to take a break. It's 2 hours. But man, thank you guys for hanging out with me. That was so much fun. Do you guys have any questions? I try to end the stream with answering any questions. So if you have any questions, fire away. Yeah, we could definitely do ANG. ANG would be easy. Happy 4th to you too, Christy. But yeah, if you have any questions, fire away right now. I got a few minutes to let things cool off. What's the biggest piece I made? That's one of them, right behind me. Yeah, I've definitely done bald eagle. Yeah, Gene, we've definitely done bald eagle. Yeah, that one is a lot of fun. The bald eagle is getting the color scheme right is a little bit of a pain, but yeah. But yeah, that's one of the bigger pieces back there behind me. That Medusa looking thing. Yeah, thank you very much, McKenna. I definitely am looking forward to the telescope. I think I can get that down pretty good. Have I made Godzilla? No, but that's a great idea. Godzilla would be kick butt. I think a Godzilla would definitely kick butt. Daisy Girl, happy 4th of July to you too. Dragon, this next week. I'm definitely going to do dragon. There's a wine bottle sitting in the house right now, and it's got a logo of a dragon, a blue dragon. And I want to make that dragon. The cool part about it is the logo is of a lake. The lake actually looks like a dragon. So I can't remember the name of the lake. When I bring the wine bottle out, we'll do that. Yeah, we'll definitely do that. What's my favorite early piece? I did a self-portrait. Let me see if I have it nearby. Do you want to see my early piece? I have a self-portrait that I did of myself, if you want to see it. If you want to see the self-portrait, type 1 in the chat. And I'll show you my my self-portrait. It's one of my early pieces. Can you only heat and chill a glass a certain amount before it becomes brittle like metal? No. No, you can reheat glass as many times as you want. Yeah, there's definitely, you can kind of burn it out a little bit, but if you add borax laundry soap to it, it reconstitutes it. Yeah, it definitely reconstitutes the glass a little and makes it that way. This torch is called a Glass Torch Technologies, a GTT, and it is a surface mix torch, meaning the gases are mixing as they exit the ports from the front, which makes it incredibly cool to hold. So the torch itself does not get hot. You can see my hands sitting right next to, 4,000 degrees, and I'm not hot at all. So you can sit there and hold it like this all day long. That is not a normal torch, though. This is not normal. Yeah. So let me show you my self-portrait. You're going to recognize a little bit of the shape. So this is a self-portrait of me when I was very, very young. I was a lot skinnier and a lot more mobile, and I had a good sense of direction. But here I am at a very young age. You can recognize the hair shape. My hair is the same, but yeah, that's me at a very, very young age. And that is my self-portrait of me at a very, very young age. And you can see I just kind of have I was a lot skinnier back then too. But there you go. That's my self-portrait. I was really, really young. That's actually one of the first pieces I learned to make. So the story behind that is my mom put me on the torch at about 8 years old. Somewhere around 7 or 8, my mom put me on the torch to learn a little bit. Thank you so much for the Sky Eagle, Christy. So yeah, I started messing around with glass at about 7 or 8. And I was trying to make little snakes and worms. And they came out kind of like that. And all the adults at the time were laughing their butt off because it looked like a sperm. I mean, it really did. And I thought that everybody thought my little snakes were cool as hell. I didn't know what the hell a sperm was at that age. So that's how that piece kind of came about. I was trying to make little snakes and worms, and they came out looking like that. But yeah, so I learned from my mother. She started when I was 2 years old, 1972. And that's who I learned from, is my mom. Can I show the name again? Sure. There you go. I'm getting there. I mean, it's not perfect yet. I'm working on it. But there we go. I should have chose a shorter name, but hey, it works. But yeah, so yeah, I started when I was like messing with the flame at about 8, but I didn't take it serious till I was about 22, 23. That's when I decided to go full time. 22, 23, I went full time. But you don't have to be a certain age to start this. There's no age limit as to when you can start. It doesn't really have an age restriction. You know, the thing about it is I got a lot of people that always ask me about starting. They say they're too old to start, and that's not true. You can start at any age. And in fact, if you are retired, you actually have a lot of time to dedicate to learning. So I think it would be really good. Chris, I don't know. I'm on live stream right now. I can't tell you what. I don't have shipping access. I can't tell you that, Chris. So, you know, it's, yeah, you can start at any age. So that's kind of my thing on that. I don't know exactly, but I wouldn't recommend someone starting before 10 or 11. That's like an age that is good to kind of introduce to the flame. You know, 10 or 11 would be good to introduce to a flame, small one, but I wouldn't start before that. I don't think I would. You started when you were 52? See, Dragonfly started then. What's up, Colleen? How are you doing? Been trying to learn. I'd love small tips of any needs to get going. You can definitely message me at thefiereyguy.com. I have a program where we can spend an hour on the phone going over what you need. Like equipment's one of the hardest things to figure out because you don't know what you need. This business isn't like cut and dry where you say, okay, I need, you know, this tool, that tool, this tool, that tool. So it's very, very difficult to figure that part out. I don't want to say it's like a coaching program, but it's a program where, you know, it's not free, but I could definitely save you a lot of money from buying the wrong stuff. And that's the most important thing. You don't want to buy tools you never will need or a torch that's wrong. for down the road. You could definitely make a lot of mistakes buying equipment, and it could definitely cost you a lot of money down the road. You know? But yeah, definitely any age to start glassblowing. So don't think you're too old to start, ever. I think any age is good. If there's no other questions, I will call it there. But yeah, definitely check us out. Hit the follow and subscribe button. I appreciate it. And happy 4th if I don't see you. You guys go enjoy yourselves out there. Have a good time. Be safe. Definitely get out there and enjoy yourself. You know, have a good day. You know, enjoy the Saturday. And if I don't see you, I will see you tomorrow. I'll definitely be on tomorrow. Definitely do dichroic. Yeah, this is the dichroic. I have lots of it sitting around. The eagle we did earlier has dichroic in it. I love dichro. Can you reuse glass like little pieces? You melt them? Yeah, glass is 100% recyclable. Yeah, glass can definitely be recycled. Yeah, do you need to order a bald eagle? That's up to you, Gene. We can definitely make a bald eagle for you. Absolutely. The bald eagle is kind of cool. It's a lot of color involved in it, but yeah, it's a fun piece. If you want like the actual bald eagle colors, we can do that. Yeah, we can definitely make that happen. Yeah, of course. I love putting on the show. If you follow the channel and you're into glass, you can watch a lot. I do share a lot of tips while I'm live, so yeah, we can make it hanging or on a platform if you want, Gene. We could do it either way. Yeah, I can definitely get that done, Gene. Yeah, bald eagle is a lot of fun. It's just a lot of color. Just have to layer it on there if you want those exact colors. In fact, we have 2 bald eagles that live above me in the tree. Right over my head, we have a bald eagle's nest, and we call them George and Gracie. George and Gracie bald eagles, they live right above me. You know, the only thing you got to be careful is if you have a little dog, you got to be careful around the bald eagles. It's your first time finding me? Awesome. Well, I hope you subscribe. You can come check us out anytime. Yeah, I appreciate it. And I appreciate you making comments. I love comments. I love talking to people on here and educating people on glass all the time. If I can answer a simple question on live stream, I absolutely will when it comes to processes. So I always love doing that. England. Well, welcome in, England. I love having you. All right, you guys, have a good one if I don't see you.